everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we'll be looking at a $60,000 Toyota 4Runner. This is the 4Runner Limited. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Carl Malone Toyota here in Draper for giving me some time with this 4Runner. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Powering this is a turbo 2.4 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now fuel economy is 20 around town, 24 on the highway. A little bit less than the 4Runner with the part-time 4-wheel drive system because this actually has a full-time 4-wheel drive system. Anyways, 278 horsepower, 317 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you can see it's raised there on either side, and then popping down below, I think the headlight design is actually really cool looking on the Limited here, a little bit fancier compared to the regular 4Runner. You also get the nicer grille with the Limited. You got fog lights here at the bottom, and then we've got the air dam, again easy to remove it if you want. You got recovery points there as well. But yeah, kind of a fancier look with the front. Our tire wheel setup is 265 by 55 by 20. You guys can see with the wheels, you got the silver and the metallic gray. Like I said, this one's full-time 4-wheel drive, and it also has the adaptive variable suspension from the Lexus GX, which is really cool. We've got these body painted fender flares. You can see we've got the Limited logo there. Side steps with this one. Also have the crossbars up top as well. And it's kind of a fancier look with everything being painted to match. This leads us to the key fob, which I think is actually pretty cool. So the front of it's normal with your lock-on-lock opening for the hatch, Toyota logo. But look at the 4Runner logo on the back. Kind of the finish inside. It looks like carbon almost. It's really cool, if you ask me. Anyways, here in the rear, you guys can see we've got storage up top. This one, it looks like, does not have the third row. But you've got tons of storage here and the cargo net already built in. So it's very practical from that sense. Pretty cool taillights with how those kind of arc around. We've got the little buttons here to roll down the window. It is power just like other 4Runners. And then you got a nicer finish on the Toyota logo and then the 4Runner badge there at the bottom. So the exterior of this, I would say, actually looks pretty darn premium. And actually, it looks more premium than the Land Cruiser Premium that has all the plastic cladding on the bottom. Now this leads us inside where you can see we've got fancy stitching here up top as well. And even soft touch here at the very top, so definitely a more premium interior. JBL. Look at these seats here, perforated all down the center. 4Runner's not going to be the most spacious vehicle in the planet against a truck, right? But we do have vents here in the rear. We've got USBs and an outlet as well. And then compared to the Land Cruiser, you do get a little bit less headroom, but it's still good. Popping up front, again, we've got all the soft touch trim there, down below with all the stitching. All of our window controls, the mirrors do power fold in. This has memory seats. We've got blind spot room with the mirrors. 895 is the payload capacity. Let's see how much this thing weighs. 63, so 6,400, so 900, so 5,500 pounds, roughly. And then here's the front seat. Again, really nice trim. Power adjustments on the side. Steering wheel's power adjustable. You can open up the hatch there. You got your control for the stability as well. And start her up. So Toyota logo front and center. We've got practical controls on the side for the center screen, also volume and voice command controls. Nice perforated trim here, just nice trim on the steering wheel in general. And then you've got your controls for the adaptive cruise control on the other side. Now it's got a full digital gauge cluster, which is very customizable in terms of the information you can display here in the center. You can even change the theme of the display as well. And then we've got the drive modes. Now again, this has the adaptive suspension, so depending on the drive mode that you have selected will determine how the suspension performs. Like if you put it in the Sport Plus mode, for example, it's gonna firm things up compared to the Comfort mode, which is gonna be more comfortable. Who would have thought? We've got a 360 camera system with this as well. Really good resolution. So you can see out of all of the points of the car, which is great. And then huge infotainment system with a shortcut bar here on the side. And quick response time with the screen overall. This is kind of cool with the trim that goes across. You got storage above the glove box. Glove box itself, this one's locked, funny enough, but you got nice stitching there on the glove box. Guess what? Dual zone climate. Heated and ventilated seats as well. Heated steering wheel. You've got a phone charging pad. You've got the USB ports here. Shifter for the 8-speed. You've got a nice little grab handle. Auto stop start. Turn that on or off for your camera, for your trailer backup. assist. Let's turn this down so that doesn't blow on you guys too much. Parking brake with your auto hold, and then this is a little bit different. Notice that we've got, you can see with the 4-wheel drive, here, let me angle this differently. So with the 4-wheel drive system, you can see you've got the full-time 4-wheel drive, and then you've got the high range, and then you've got low. So what this looks like is you're going to be in full-time 4-wheel drive 99% of the time. If you go off-road, you'll probably pop it into high range for most of the trails, and then low range is for like the slow crawling, rock crawling, all of that. And then you still have your little drive mode select dial behind that as well that you twist, and then your tow haul mode's integrated there. Got some cup holders, nice trim in the center console there. And then this actually has the camera rear view mirror, which is nice. And then we've got a center up top too. But all this fanciness comes at a price. So if you want full-time 4-wheel drive and adaptive variable suspension, well, you got to get limited that starts at $57,400. You've got a few packages added to this. $60,895 is the total MSRP on this. So yeah, $60,000 for a 4Runner. Let's sum things up. Brake controls, I'm going to mention that. So we can't take this off of the lot, but I can at least give you guys an idea. I own a Land Cruiser, so I can at least give you guys an idea of if this drives different from the Land Cruiser. Because again, same platform, same wheelbase, and this has full-time 4-wheel drive. And actually, this should technically drive better than the Land Cruiser because the Land Cruiser doesn't have the fancy adaptive variable suspension. So I'll kind of let you guys know if this feels less truck-like compared to the Land Cruiser, from at least what I can see. I will talk about the upsides of the Land Cruiser at the end too, because there is a reason to buy a Land Cruiser over this for certain individuals. Yeah, it drives like a GX. Holy guacamole. It drives like a GX. I mean, I thought that was gonna be the case. Yeah. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, that's actually, I know this is gonna be the lamest test drive on the planet, but got to make do with what we have. I am getting a 4Runner TRD off-road as a demo for the week, starting on Wednesday this week, so I'll have some more 4Runner content for you guys soon. That obviously doesn't have the fancy suspension this has, but still, that'll be fun. Yeah! Holy guacamole! It does the thing! So if you don't know, the Lexus GX still drives, well, it depends on what GX you get. So this drives like non-Overtrail GXs, because the Overtrail gets the EKDSS, which, my goodness, that drives really well. But this, what it does is it really minimizes your body roll. So it makes it a little bit more comfortable from the perspective of it feels less tippy around corners. Yeah, that's amazing. And then off-road, I mean, that's going to help out a little bit. But the biggest thing is just cornering. It makes that feel better. It feels less truck-like because of that. So it does make a difference. In terms of ride quality though, it's not any better than the 250 Land Cruiser. And going over the bumps, it's pretty similar in terms of the shock compression and everything. I'd actually say the 250 might even be a little bit better over the bumps, but it's not, it's not that big of a difference. Like, let's go over this little drain. Yeah, it doesn't really feel any different. The biggest thing is it just feels like it handles better. So this is, if you're looking at the new Toyotas, this is the best bang for your buck if you want a full-time 4-wheel drive. Because again, I'm interrupting myself. The new Land Cruiser, the new Lexus GX, the new 4Runner, they're all the same car. You just have a different cab on top. They're all the same car. So this gives you the most amount of features for the least amount of money out of the three. And you don't have the hybrid, so you have less complexity. And the fuel economy is not going to be that different between the hybrid and the non-hybrid, frankly. I'm getting, like, my fuel economy went up in my Land Cruiser, but I'm still not getting, like, great fuel economy in it. So yes, if you want the most affordable way to get all the features and the full-time 4-wheel drive, this is the way to do it, the 4Runner. This drives just like a Lexus GX. It just has a 4-cylinder instead of a 6-cylinder. But I think that's a decent, actually, I think this is parked over here. I think that's a price worth paying for getting something that is $5,000 less expensive than the starting price of a GX. A GX with similar features to this is, gosh, what, like almost 80 grand? And I don't think they even offer the camera rear view mirror in the GX still. So you're getting tons and tons of features for less money than the GX, and even less money than the Land Cruiser, because a Land Cruiser Premium, which is similarly equipped to this, you're still like, what, 68 grand? So it's still going to be more expensive than this 4Runner. So what's the benefit of the Land Cruiser then? The hybrid does give you better low-end torque than this, so that's a benefit. Center and rear locking differential are a huge benefit off-road. And what I will say is the turning radius with the Land, this is similar to the Land Cruiser, but if you put the Land Cruiser with the center diff locked versus this in four-wheel drive high, the Land Cruiser still has a better turning radius, if that makes sense. But these have pretty similar turning radius if they're both in the full-time four-wheel drive. So the Land Cruiser has a lot of benefits for off-roading, basically. But if you're not going to take this off-road, which most people won't, the 4Runner has more features and it's a lot less money. And I mean, you could still do some, I mean, you still have four-wheel drive low with this. So does it even have an off-road mode? I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, you could still put some all-terrain tires on this and you could still go some places. So let me know your thoughts. But I think this, this makes me feel like I need to make a dedicated video to just tell you guys, like, go over the whole SUV lineup from the 4Runner to the Land Cruiser to the GX, go over all the packages so I can let you guys know which one you should buy based on your needs, because there's so much overlap, but there's also enough difference that you could buy the wrong one potentially. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about the new Limited.